Good morning to ya. Today, we are talking about what is working now and what isn't so much to get your first or next paying clients. Because I know that if you're here, you're focused on growing your business, and I want to help you do that as fast as possible. My name is Christine McAllister. I am the Huffington Post, Business Insider, Entrepreneur on Fire, featured founder of Life with Passion. I'm the author of The Income Replacement Formula, the #1 best-selling book. And I help high achievers all over the world to replace their incomes and then some by building businesses that they love. So, how do you get clients when all you want is your first or next client? I'm so glad you asked. Because here's what I want to say first. There's so much confusion out there right now about the best way to do this, about the best way to get premium priced clients who love you, who work with you over and over, who get, you can help get great results. And the thing is that when we're feeling confused, we typically get overwhelmed and we don't take action, right? We get overwhelmed, we don't take action, and we find ourselves feeling really stuck. We find ourselves feeling really discouraged. We find ourselves headed for things to distract us, and we don't build that business. I wonder if you have ever been there. You can let me know in the comments. And you can also, I would love it if you said hello in the comments as well. I'm gonna do this thing. Isn't this the prettiest little china? I love it. I have to show you my teapot too. With a little bird on top. Oh, so fancy. Isn't that beautiful? And the handle is twigs. Of course it is. So here's the first thing that I want you to do when you are looking for your next paying client or your first, doesn't matter. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to create space for them in your life and on your calendar. What the heck do I mean by that? Creating space for them on your life, in your calendar, and in your life. It means that I want you to say, here is the number of clients I want, and let's say that you meet with them every week or every other week for an hour. If you want 5 paying clients, then where are they going to go in your busy life and calendar? Because I know you're busy. So where are they going to go? Meaning, like, are you going to meet with it if you're still in a 9-to-5? Are you going to meet with them on Saturdays? Are you going to meet with them in the evenings? Are you going to meet with them on your lunch break? Decide where you can create the time and the space to serve them and work with them. Okay? That's the first thing I want you to do. So let's say you're in a 9-to-5, but you have total freedom over your lunches every day. And you have a quiet place. I don't care if it's your car. Been there, done that. Or if you have an office door that you can close, whatever. And you want to, take that midday break and get like really super energized and serve by working with a client every lunch. So you want 5 clients and you want to meet with them 1 each day of the week because that feels like it will fit into your life and you have time for it. Cool. So I want you to block off those 5 hours on your calendar. And what you do in those 5 hours every week is you sorry, I got distracted. Cindy said it's not working for her. Sorry, Cindy, I would try joining again. I will check real quick and make sure that it's showing up for my assistant. Okay. So what I want you to do with those 5 hours, back to regular scheduled programming, I want you to focus on client attraction mode, on and in client attraction mode until you have those 5 clients. So that means you are using those hours to do marketing and nothing but marketing and visibility and sales calls and follow-up and all of those things until you have those 5 paying clients that you want. So it's not, oh, that would be nice. Oh, it's not, oh, when I get around to it, I will, when I think of something, I will advertise or I'll be visible. No, if you want clients in those 5 hours, then you owe it to yourself and to them to spend that time doing your marketing, doing your client attraction, right? Doing those things to make sure that you are serving them, that you are getting in front of them. Because here's what I know to be true. Your audience, your clients, your customers are out there waiting for you to show up. They're out there wishing for someone like you to help them. And if you are in your own way, or you are in self-doubt or disbelief, or you're freaking out because you don't have enough time, you're not getting in front of them and helping them. They are waiting for you to show up. And so the easiest way to create the time to get in front of them and connect to them is by saying, I want 5 clients. I meet with them once a week. I'm putting that time on my calendar where they're going to be, and I'm going to do a marketing strategy. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Do a proven marketing strategy that I love every single time slot where I have a client spot waiting to be filled until those client spots are filled. It could not be more simple. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, so here's why. Because if you aren't showing up for and in your business every day, you're not going to be unmistakable. You're not going to be memorable. You're not going to be the person that people think of when they think, oh, I just wish I had someone who, in my case, could help me figure out how to quit this job, could help me figure out how to stay out of the 9-to-5 world, could help me figure out how to replace my income, could help make it simple and easy. I feel like every time I do that, my hair is getting bigger. I kind of dig it. My delicious looking smoothie. So what are you doing right now to create that space in your calendar for putting your head down and working on the money-making task of attracting clients, attracting paying clients? Now, what is the number one best way to do that? Is it offering free calls to connect with people, to coach them for free if you're a coach or a service provider? Is it going on podcasts? Is it posting on one of the socials? Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat? Is it building an email list with an aligned opt-in and providing value? Is it writing articles on medium.com and Thrive Global or a similar platform? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. I currently have clients who are getting clients in all of these ways. Amazing clients. Is it referrals? Is it posting in Facebook groups or having your own? The answer is yes. Now, here's my caveat. I don't want you to do all of those things at once. You've got to be doing the one that's right for you. You've got to figure out or get help to figure out the right strategy for you. And then you have to get very consistent and, let's see, what's the word? Very consistent and focused and strategic with that platform. Because I know you have limited time. I know you might be worried about what to say. I know you might be having a hard time being visible. Maybe the thought of getting on live makes you want to throw up, but you really like to write. Awesome. Awesome. I have signed pay in full clients from writing articles on Medium. If you love to write, It's a great way to write and get in front of a built-in audience and repurpose maybe something that you've written for Facebook groups, or you've written for a newsletter if you have one. Fancy teacup. You all know I love England. You know I love England. You got to bring the England to me because I'm in Kentucky right now, even though Kentucky looks a lot like England, which is one of the reasons I love it. So yes, I've signed paying full clients from Medium. I have gotten clients from YouTube, and my channel there is very, very small because it's not where we really focus, but we put it up as a way of repurposing easily. What am I? Joy alarms. Joy. Okay. So meaning, let's see what else. I get clients from my Facebook group. I get clients from who find me on Instagram. I get clients who were already in my network and know me. And now that they know what I do, they were past friends, acquaintances, whatever. Now we've established like this we've established a working relationship. So which ones of these are you trying right now? Or which ones of these are you committed to? I'd love to know like where you are right now, what you've been doing, how long you've been doing it for, and how it's working for you. Because maybe there's a tweak that we can look at to help you get better results. Here's the biggest thing is that in those 5 hours of a week, let's say, where you want to put those clients, where you want to have client hours, are you writing for 5 hours if you decided that writing is going to be the way to get you in front of people? I do not really recommend starting out with a blog because you are responsible for driving all of the traffic to it. And how are you going to do that unless you already have a built-in audience? Here's one of the things that's not working besides blogs if you don't have a big audience. Following the advice of people who already have a massive audience and are promising massive results, because the results are based on the size of their audience, not the offer itself. Let me explain to you what I mean. This happens a lot in the online space with some of the, the big thought leaders and the names that we all follow. I have a friend right now who's advertising that she had a big 6-figure launch and, selling a $200 product. And I know she's awesome, but I know the reason that she had a 6-figure launch is because she has an insanely huge email list and a massive, I don't know the exact number, but probably the email list is 100,000 people plus, and a huge following on social, So you just don't need that many people you only need a small percentage of a massive audience to buy, in that case, to make 6 figures in a launch. Now, she's been doing this a long time. So what I want you to understand is that if you buy her thing, that's not going to be your result because the audience is the thing behind that. And that's one of the things that I think is really important when you're getting started in business. If you're thinking about, well, how do I get this result? If you are seeing all these crazy result ads and you don't know what's behind them because you are new to the industry, new to the business, you might get suckered in and buy something you don't really need that's not actually going to help you get the result that you want. I personally feel the same way about starting with low-priced offers or courses or digital products when you want to replace your income quickly. I feel that's not working because same reason. You need to sell a lot more of those, and to sell a lot more items, you need a bigger audience. Because at a point, here's the real talk behind it. It is numbers. You're going to convert a certain percentage of your audience with whatever you're selling. And it's typically not a very big percentage, not to be depressing, but to be realistic. And let's have some real talk about this. So therefore, I want you to be making money. I want you to be making money, real income replacing money, before you have a massive audience, while you're building your audience. Jessica says, I have a very warm Facebook group. I'm just not making offers to them. I give them value, but don't ask. I think I'm stuck with exactly what offer to provide them. Oh my gosh, that's such great insight. Because here's the thing, Jessica, we all have strengths in the process of marketing and selling and building a community and whatever, and we all have weaknesses. And so the smartest thing that you can do is recognize, okay, I have an issue knowing what to offer them. Cool, that's my next step, right? It's definitely something that I could help you with in a half-day intensive. I call it the Clarity, Confidence, and Clients half-day intensive, because that's what we do. We get clear on what you're going to sell. We decide on a price. We get you confident to sell them, and you walk away being able to go and get paying clients from that offer, because you've done the legwork of creating an engaged group who loves you. So now it's about the confidence of, I'm ready. I feel ready to ask. I know that this is going to serve them. I'm going to sell in a way that doesn't feel icky or weird, right? And I can teach you all of that. And also, this is exactly what I'm going to offer them, because I know them so well, because I've been serving them for a while, right? So that's beautiful. I think that's great. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Because yeah, we all have parts of the process where this comes easily to us, and we all have parts of the process where we take ourselves as far as we can go. And then if we want to get better at it, the quickest way to get better at it or to break through that is to get help, right? So I'd love to help you if that's something that you're looking for. And I think just recognizing that you already have everything that you need to be able to sell to them. We just need to put that final piece in place of like, I'm going to design a premium priced, premium value offer that they are going to be really, really excited about. Okay. Now, what else? Who else is, has a part of a strategy that they're like, I'm doing this, but I'm not seeing results. I'm wondering if you can actually get clients this way. One of the things that I see a lot of people doing is posting in other people's Facebook groups. It's very low-hanging fruit, right? You find the groups where you are allowed to, post and promote, and you go in and you provide value. And then every so often, if you're doing it the right way, you make an offer. It's a great way to repurpose. However, here's the thing. If you're not active in that group and you're just dropping your post and running and not being a part of the engaged community, you don't have any real connections in there, you're not looking at other people's posts, you're not there for anything but just copying and pasting and running, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because it's very transparent that that's what you're doing. And so when you can even, if you're going to do that, I recommend that you spend at least 5 minutes scrolling through posts in there, finding a couple to comment on, starting to see what other people are doing. What's the vibe of the group? Who else is in there? Who else is commenting? What's the host up to? How can you make them look really good, right? This is basic, human relationships that somehow we just forget when we go online. It's like it just flies out the window, And I think it's so important to be really clear on how to do that well, because, in this Facebook group, I see people doing it well and I see people doing it really poorly. So there's a big spectrum. And I also know that there are people who get clients in my Facebook group when they do it right. And I know that my clients get clients by using that strategy, right? Some of them have their own Facebook group, some of them don't. You can totally get clients in Facebook groups, but you need to do it well. And so you need to do it you only do a few groups, right? 1, 2, 3, where you are truly engaged. Doesn't mean you need to spend an hour. I'm saying you can spend 5 minutes engaging on other people's stuff. And also make sure, of course, that if someone comments on your post, that you come back and respond to them as well. So when it comes to Instagram, what's working on Instagram? again, I would say there's a lot of noise. Oh, everybody wants 10,000 followers. If you're into Instagram, you want 10,000 followers so you can get the swipe up feature, right? And there are bots and there are things that are like really transparent when people comment on something and it's a bot doing it and not them. Like I just got one yesterday that was like, hey, great page, brother. And I was like, yeah, not not the target market there. Obviously a bot, not a real person is what I'm trying to say. So what do you do there? Again, it's getting consistent. Again, it's being willing to sell some of the time, but also to be a real human person. Because I think one of the things that happens a lot when we are starting or building our businesses is that we hear a lot about automation. And we're like, I need to automate. I want to sell like my course or my digital product or whatever on autopilot. Like I just need the right systems, or I need to use ClickFunnels or whatever. And like, I'll wake up with, $1,000 in my bank account every day. And we get a lot of those promises from the big names who are out there doing it. But no matter what stage of business you're in, it's always going to be about people. People you are selling to, people who are buying from you, people who are getting results, people who are saying nice things about you, whatever, etc. Testimonials, people who are your biggest fans, people who are your business besties, who recommend people to you, people. Now, if you're an introvert like me, that might freak you out because you don't want to be in a big room full of people. I'm working with a client right now who was going to networking meetings and using cold emails to try to sell and not getting the results they wanted. And I was like, yeah, that stinks, right? Because that's not real relationships. Typically in networking meetings, a lot of them anyway, people are just there to sell their thing. They're not actually there to like build real relationships, right? Now that's not always true. There are some great, exceptions. But are you being real? Are you being honest? Are you being authentically yourself? Or are you trying to fit in the mold of what someone else told you to do because they said that's the thing that got them clients? And that's why I'm telling you that you get to decide which of these strategies is right for you and which feels good and fun for you. So I have another client who told me she hates doing her newsletter. It takes her hours. She doesn't like it. It drains her. So I said, why are we doing it? Well, because it's supposed to be a thing, right? It's supposed to be, your money's in your list. You might have heard that before. And I'm not saying that she should delete her list or never send another email, but what I am saying is we need to find a way to make it fun. Because there are a million different ways to send a newsletter. And the reason that you're building a business is not to do things that you hate. You can get a real job for that. Am I right? So the reason that we are building a business is to do things that we enjoy. And the beauty of an online business is that those marketing methods are literally endless. And there is so much low-hanging fruit. But where you sabotage is when you try to do them all at once, especially when you're just starting out. Is when you feel like, I need to be here, 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 and here. Or it's never enough, or I'm going to be leaving someone out. You got to address that. You got to get super consistent in one place before you think about adding another one. And listen, I've totally been guilty of this. So no judgment. I think we all have, but this is your wake-up call to slow your roll and get really consistent with a method that feels good for you, and make sure at a minimum that you are doing it in the time where you want to be serving paying clients until those clients show up. Now, I've just had a few amazing clients graduate from working with me one-on-one, and so I have had a few spots open up for the Clarity, Confidence, and Clients half-day intensive private intensive with me. And that takes place via Zoom. So don't matter where you are in the world. And then the 6-month mentorship to work with me now through March of 2019 to transform your business. If you don't even have a business idea and you want to go from, I don't know what I want to do, I just know I want to do it, all the way through a profitable business, that's what that 6-month mentorship is for. Or if you have a business, it's not working the way that you want it to, and you want to partner with me to help you turn that around, design a marketing strategy that feels good for you, design, package, price, offers that are right for you and your niche and those clients who are out there waiting for you to get visible to find them, but not in a pressury way, in a fun way. Like in a fun way. This can be fun. This can be fun. It may or may not feel like that right now, but thank you, Pogo. I'll get you some more water in a minute. It may or may not feel like that right now. It may feel stressful, but that's what being able to lean back and knowing that you have the support of a mentor who can help guide you through the process. That's what that does for you, is it brings you that peace of mind, and it brings you that clarity of knowing exactly how to show up every day to get those paying clients. So I'm gonna drop a link to book a call with me below in the comments if you want to chat about which one of those, at the half-day intensive or the 6-month mentorship, could be right for you and what we would do in them. If it's a good fit, you can book a complimentary call there. Jessica says, yeah, doing things we hate is for a full-time job. It's so true, right? I mean, but again, it just goes to show how, like, we take our employee thinking and we apply it to building a business, not because there's something wrong with us, but because we don't know any other way, right? So of course, when we start a business, the thing that we're naturally going to do is try to apply all the things that we've picked up in school, which teaches us to be a good, like, compliant employee, and in and at work, which teaches us to be a good compliant student, translates good compliant employee, right? But the workplace is changing. By 2020. It's estimated that 40% of workers will be contract. That means freelance contractors, small business owners, entrepreneurs like you and me. 2020, that's like really soon, right? And I'm seeing it a lot too. My husband he works for a big company, and a big Fortune whatever company. And I mean, they're constantly going through layoffs. And either you've been there yourself or you know people who are going through this too, right? It's happening. And so the best job security, of course, is to start your own business and create that security for yourself when you are in charge of your own life. And when you are setting your schedule, and you can spend as much time as you want seeking paying clients, right? And serving them really well. So another thing that you can do, like a bonus tip, and this is something that I did a ton of when I was getting started, is I did a lot of free coaching calls. Over the past few years, I've probably donated hundreds of hours to helping people for free. Doesn't mean I don't have paying clients and didn't get them as a result. But what free coaching calls do is they increase your confidence. Often you can ask for a testimonial in exchange, because you just give them something for free, they'll give you something back. And it really helps you to get clear on who your work is for and how exactly you help them, right? Because it does something great for both of you. It helps them to get a result, to get clarity on something, and it helps you to be like, this stuff does come really easily to me. I am really good at this. If you're not in coaching and you're some kind of a service provider or done for you service provider, like a VA, or something like that, a digital marketing consultant, social media person, which was my first 6-figure business, then here you could work, you could take on some projects inexpensively at a lower rate than you want to be at, to boost your confidence and also to get you some clients and results more quickly. And you can do that as a coach too. I did that. I charged, it was 50% off of my first package for my first, I think, 3 or 4 clients. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I want you to be making money while you are learning, while you're building your confidence, while you're honing your skills. But you do need something to offer them first. You do need a price to start out with. And you do need to build up the confidence to share it, and to share it over and over, and make the opportunity available, and trust that the right people are going to come to you at the right time. Because you have to be confident in what you have to offer first. It's not the easiest thing to do at the beginning before you've helped people. That's why I want you to help people in whatever way possible, to get that confidence, to get it reflected to you that you are good at it, because I know you're already ready. And I know your people are out there waiting. From where I sit, I know that's true. Not as easy to believe in the beginning, but here's the thing. You have to get sold on yourself first. Otherwise, they won't be able to borrow the confidence that they need to borrow from you in order to pay you to help them get a result. They need to know that you're confident that you can help them, because a lot of times what we do when we hire someone to help us is we borrow the confidence from them. They believe they can help us, whether or not we're conscious that we're doing that, right? So do you believe that you can help someone, or are you sitting there freaked out about whether or not you can help someone get results, right? Whichever platform you choose to show up on, I want you to show up with confidence. Confidence is a muscle. It is not an innate skill. And it requires, what's the quote? Zig Ziglar said, motivation doesn't last. People complain that motivation doesn't last, but neither does bathing. It's why we recommend both daily. So it's okay to work on your confidence and to work on your motivation and to make it a practice, instead of going, there's something wrong with me that I don't feel confident. You could change that. You could change that starting today, because you need to show up as confident, right? You want to show up as confident in order to help people envision what it would be like to work with you, and see and borrow that belief for themselves in order to start working with you. Because then when you show up on your platform of choice consistently, every day, in those spots where you want to be serving clients, like I said at the beginning, then the bubbles start to rise in the, like, I made a pot of pasta last night, right? I'm like watching it, watch pot never boils. And the bubbles are the first sign that it's about to boil, right? And in the big bubbles, the tiny bubbles, they're not doing much to change the shape of the surface of the water yet, but they're a harbinger of what's to come. And so that's what happens when you start getting consistent on that platform, on your platform of choice, and showing up every day, showing up providing value. Yes, massive value gets that engagement, but also asking for something in exchange, which is, of course, asking for the sale, right? Because ultimately, you're not going to be able to keep doing this for free if you don't allow yourself to make some money from it too. Guess what? It's a hobby then, right? It's a hobby then. If you're not making sales, if you're not making offers and then making sales. And there's nothing wrong with a hobby. Hobbies are great, but a hobby is different than a business, right? And so that's what I mean by, like, how seriously are you taking it? Are you showing up? Are you putting time on your calendar to do those client attracting tasks? Do those marketing tasks until you fill those spots with clients. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? So especially when you're working on your own, really you have no business being more than one place at once, marketing your business until you're super, super consistent and you've found something that converts for you on one platform before you go to another one. So because if you're not selling something, the thing to do is not to assume, oh, it's the wrong product, I need to make a product, I need to make a different product and start from scratch. That's confusing to people. Confused people don't buy. The thing to do is to look at the whole picture and see where the breakdown in your sales process is. Is it that you're not making offers? Is it that you're not booking calls or getting interest? Is it that you're not closing the sale, right? We need to look at that so that we can address it and shift that rather than declaring like the whole thing a failure, I need to start from scratch, when maybe you already have a really good offer, you just haven't been messaging around it in the right way, or you haven't been following up with people, because if you're selling a premium priced offer, most people don't commit on the phone. They need to think about it. You know, they need to think about if they're going to invest 6 months of their life with you, right? And that's okay. Maybe they need to talk to their partner about it, right? I have to spend a lot of money. We want it to be an empowered decision and not one that is made hastily and then winds up getting backed out on, which happens a lot of the time if you ask someone to commit on the phone. And like, hell, let me take your credit card. No, don't do that. Right? So we want to look at the whole process, and we want to look at where the breakdown is, and we want to address that specifically, because typically we're going to go to the thing that we're most comfortable with, and not the thing that is actually going to bring us more money. So I actually heard Amy Porterfield talk about this maybe a couple of weeks ago. She said, you know, consistent offers, consistent revenue consistent offers are what make consistent revenue. And I'm paraphrasing this, but she said like she's much more comfortable in creation mode. She would much rather be going and creating things to offer as opposed to selling them. But what she realizes is that she needs to spend more time in marketing and making offers and selling if she wants to make more revenue, as opposed to just going and creating another thing to sell. But she knows that's her default. So she brings that awareness to going, nope, I need to spend less time in creation, even though that's really fun for me if I want my business to grow. I need to do the offers first. Does that make sense? These are the things that I'm seeing for what's working now to get your first or next paying client. I would love to hear where you are and where you're feeling stuck, what questions you have around this in the comments. If you want my help with this, or you want to talk about whether my help is right for you, book a call from the link in the comments, and we'll chat about it, and we'll see if it's a good fit, because I do have a few one-on-one spots that have just opened up thanks to some of my awesome clients graduating. Have a beautiful day, and here is to your first and next paying clients. Bye.